It's your favorite super duper mother daughter duo coming to you with all the positive vibes and helping you become exactly who you want to be. We're giving out all the good stuff on this podcast, and it's your host Tekoa and Sarah. So grab your mug because it's time for tea.
Hey everyone, time for tea. Teaching, empowering, and applying. I'm Tekoa.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we are talking about laziness. I'm going to get into the definition of lazy. So it's really quick and brief. So it's unwilling to work or use energy. Boom. So all my lazy people, that's what it is. Unwilling to work or use energy. Now I'm going to get into a separate definition that I had that I really, really liked because it hurt my feelings. So I figured everybody needs to hear this one. So it says a person is being lazy is he is able to carry out some activity that he ought to carry out, but is disinclined, if y'all know what that means, don't want to, don't want to do so because of the effort involved.
Don't want to because of the effort involved.
Yep. Okay. So our last episode, we talked about excuses. And while we make excuses, we usually make excuses out of fear. We don't want to do something. So we put the blame on the other things to try and justify our act of not doing it. This time we're getting into being lazy. So you might just be making excuses because you're lazy. You don't want to do the activity. You know you're supposed to do the activity, but you're just disinclined to do so for whatever reason. That's for you to figure out. So let's get into why are people lazy?
Well, as we were reading, reviewing this topic, there was different things. So, when we were talking about laziness, it came with personality trait, various things. And then I got onto a YouTube page, a science YouTube page that says laziness with procrastination, work ethics, and other traits can be genetics, can come from the genes. That don't mean everybody has the genes, but that means it could be an impact of what comes down our bloodline, which is crazy.
Absolutely crazy. Crazy.
I'm like, whoa. And this was, I was reading this, studying on laziness the other day, but this new juice of genetics just came this morning. I'm like, isn't the genes?
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah. And if you guys watch our very first episode, you can go back and watch that. It was on generational curses. And we talked about what can be passed down through genetics and how you deal with that and how you can break the cycle. So it's so eye-opening to see like laziness being one of those things that could possibly be passed down.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. Just to think like if your mom's kind of just sitting and laying on the couch, you kind of can get a glimpse of what you'll be like if you don't make a change. You'll be 50, 60-year-old just kind of lounging around and laying around because it's genetically passed down to you. And so scientists did an experiment.
With mice. And what they did is they had two different sets of mice. They had one that was always exercising, always busy, always moving. And then they had the one that sort of just laid around, really wasn't too active. And what they found out is the mice that were actively moving and exercising and constantly moving, they passed their genes to the next, like they said, like 5 or 6 generations down. Like, so their kids and their kids' kids kept up the momentum of being, active. Yeah. And the other side, just, it was only 4% of they just lounged. And I'm like, wow, I didn't really think of it as passing down in the genes. I know there's some craziness that can be passed down in our genes, but I didn't think laziness. I thought a lot of it was by choice. And some of it is, but it was like a wow factor. And then I read that there was a national statistic that was done on workers working. And what they found out is 40% of the workers were non-participation. Non-participation.
They went to work and didn't work?
Didn't work.
Where them jobs at?
And you all, hey, you two people, we know some of them people, right? Let me tell you what. Like the one, you're working, because I'm a worker, and they just sitting there talking to you. And they talking to you, and you just looking at them, because you still working, because you ain't stopped working. And you're like, I know these people. And I want to say, I know these people have something to do. Why are they up in my face?
I'm those people.
Oh, you tried them. Okay, so she needs some.
Ain't nothing better than talking and chilling on the clock, y'all. Ain't nothing better.
I'm like,
yes, sir.
What?
I'm gonna come in and clock it in, and I'm gonna sit next to you, and I'm gonna check your ear off about everybody, grandbabies, kids, daddy, my husband, he ain't treating me right, girl. All of that, and we gonna do that for about 8 hours, okay?
Starting now.
Okay, starting now.
No.
And I might come to work. No, I'll be late. I might come to work early, but no, I'll be late. You know, I'll be late.
I'm like, really?
We all know. Even when you're in school and you do a project, you do like the group project, I hated it because I do my work. I love to do my work. Mm-hmm. And you're working with people and they're just like not bringing their parts in on time, and then you have to pick up the slack because it's a group project and your teacher's like everyone's getting graded regardless of who does what. It's just like that. Like when we think about lazy people, I love to take it back to elementary school and being a kid because it's so relatable.
Yeah, it's even so in college. My college classes, we still had group.
Yeah, even worse. Yeah. And those are bigger projects.
Yes, and there was drama.
Yeah, even
there was drama in these are grown adults. There was drama in the college courses of who didn't do their part and all. So yeah,
team sports. You always have that one player who's kind of just like there.
So this is something that is interesting as we were reading up on the laziness part of it. And what I read also is laziness is related to how motivated a person feels and feels to engage in a behavior or thought of the day. So
let's go.
If they're not motivated, so really after reading this, if a person's not motivated, it's maybe they're not lazy. They just don't want to spend that energy on something that they don't feel that is fulfilling to them.
Okay, boom. We need to do an episode on motivation because
can you write those stuff down?
Look, motivation. Yeah. So let's go into this. Let me go into the theory that I have behind laziness. I love my theories or whatever. People be like, yeah, all this information, you can read it, and I'm like, I'm gonna think what I want to think. So I feel as though when you're a procrastinator and you're lazy, it's because we talked about accountability. No one's holding you accountable. You can, so I want to be a millionaire. Am I motivated to become a millionaire? No. I'm not motivated, but I want to be one. Now, what happens when I put the motivation behind wanting to be one?
Then you become one.
Then I can.
You can.
I can become
making an attempt.
This is what people don't understand. So we see what we want, and we see how to get there, and we think it's like this. So laziness is all up in there. You can pick up laziness along any. This road is from here to here. You can pick up laziness, procrastination, fear, doubt. All of that is on this road, okay? Your motivation is, you start here with your motivation, and that motivation has to carry you from here to there through laziness, procrastination, doubt, fear, negative self-talk, all of that. Your motivation has to carry you. So I don't want to say we have a lack of motivation, but that motivation has to be so strong. And you have to be so focused on where you want to go that you continue to add fuel to that motivation.
Because you'll lose the momentum.
You'll lose it. Yep. So, and that's what I want to say. So people don't understand how success goes. Success, I did a clear road. We have what we want and how we're going to get there, where it is. That's the end goal. We think of it as a straight road, and most people get on the road and start driving. Yeah, you'll be up here. You start. Most of the time you're starting in business, your motivation is peaking. You have so much momentum. You're feeling great. You know you can do it. And then what happens? Stuff starts going wrong.
Fear.
I'm putting in money. I'm not getting anything back. I don't have as many customers as I thought I would have. Stuff is moving slow. We can talk about anything. I'm working out. I'm not losing as much weight as I want to. I want to start eating and changing my diet. That's laziness and procrastination starts coming into, because why? You know what you ought to be doing. You ought to be carrying out this activity and keeping your momentum, but you don't. It dies down.
Yeah.
It's simple. So
because you don't see
that instant gratification,
which is something that people want is to be rewarded speedily, and that's not how it normally.
Well, it can. So with what I did when I looked up procrastination is I do work off of instant rewards. You have to reward me instantly, or I feel like I'm wasting my time. So one of the things with that is a lot of times we are rewarded, we don't witness it. We don't quite see it because it's not the end of that line. I want to start a business. I get my LLC. Boom, that's a celebration right there. You did that, but we don't see that as a celebration. We see that as just a part of something we have to do.
Part of the process.
I get my first 2 clients. Boom, I'm feeling good. Celebrate that, because you might go a month with nobody. So celebrate that and remember that. That's a goal right there. Celebrate that, and then when times get hard, you have to remember what you celebrated just before. I did do something. Okay. You know, because most people, nothing's happening, nothing's moving for me, nothing's going, I'm just going to quit. Nothing works that way.
Yeah.
Nothing works
and
that
so
way.
Then you give up.
And you become unmotivated.
And then that goes into laziness.
Yep. You no longer. Hey,
see,
we're
wrapping this thing around back to laziness, right?
Yeah. What happened? You used to do art. You used to do this. What happened? I just don't feel like it anymore. Mm-hmm. You still have that gift. You still have that talent. There's something in you telling you that you still could do it. The motivation is still there. It's just not activated. So I want to talk about the activation of motivation when it comes to being lazy per se.
Yeah, because you have to exert, because people, and they were saying in a primitive age back, they had to decide what was worth their energy. And
instant gratification. It's not worth it.
And you have to decide what's worth your time and your energy. So a lot of people will pull back because they're like, well, is that worth my energy if I'm not getting that reward? Mm-hmm. If I'm not getting that gratification, if it's not benefiting me, and people are wanting to be benefit and rewarded now
rapidly. This is the society we live in, and this is why people put their dreams to the side to go do things like work a career.
Because every 2 weeks you're gonna get
instant gratification. You know it's coming, and that's what people like, and that's because the brain is telling you it's safer. It's safer and we can get into the neuroscience behind laziness, procrastination, and all those things. When you're telling yourself, I need to do something, I need to work out, I need to do anything, your brain is saying, no, you don't. Because why? That's going to use a lot of our energy. We haven't done that before. We haven't done it recently. We don't do that often. So before we begin doing that, your brain is going to try to hold you back from it because it's going to use energy. It's going to use energy. And the laziness parts comes in when your brain says, we're going to have to use some energy to do this. We don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. That's when you start to get into the habit of being lazy. And you had said something, I don't remember what you said, but it clicked because, if you don't do something rapidly, you usually don't do it.
Yeah.
That's another thing with the brain. Like, if you have an idea and you don't act on it immediately, I think it's within 20 to 30 seconds or something, like probably less than that, your brain will immediately say, never mind, let's not do that.
It'll find excuses.
Yes, it'll find excuses.
Because it's protecting.
It's a defense mechanism. Yeah, it's trying to keep you safe at all costs. And so, we can get into being lazy, but it's really your brain telling you, chill out, don't do anything, let's just relax.
This is safe, and this is safe.
Sitting on your couch watching TV, baby, safe. Hanging out, safe.
Check this out. As I was reading that about laziness, guess what? A lot of people who are millionaires and are entrepreneurs and are creators, they're lazy. Why? I was like, shut up. Now I can't remember the percentage, so I'm not even going to.
Work smart, not hard.
The reason why they're successful is because they are lazy, so they're not trying to
do things the way it's normally
exert that extra energy. So they make things that are quick and easy that'll benefit them, that will benefit us. And so I'm like, wow. So there are millionaires
working easy
that are lazy. People that have become millionaires because they're lazy. Now, everybody's not like that. I've seen some people sitting on the couch, ain't making anything. But some of it is holding back and energy that they feel is not worth it until they feel something is worth it and it's going to benefit them. And then that becomes something that benefits others. And I'm like, whoa. So lazy people are rich? Okay. So, you about to make us some money? So,
I ain't doing nothing unless it feel good.
So we can't look at laziness also being a negative thing, because as we see, there are some positive
characteristics kind of that can come from it.
Yes.
The thought process in itself of being lazy is actually admirable, because it's saying I don't have the energy, or I don't want to exert the energy to do anything else besides what I want to do. Whether that's just coming home and chilling for you, like that's the ultimate self-care. Like, I'm just going to lazy it out. I'm just going to pig out and do what I want, and I don't feel like doing anything else. As long as it's not to the point of your detriment where you're like homeless, you know, you know, as long as it's not, unless that's what you're into, as long as it's not the point of your detriment, then, you know, being lazy there's nothing wrong with that, because it's literally your body storing energy for things that it feels as though is worth putting energy into.
Yeah.
So, and with that, you have to really align yourself with your values and what you want to be doing. Because say I'm lazy, but what motivates me is going out and partying all the time. So now I'm just going out and partying and having fun is one of my core values, and that's what I'm doing. Now, if my motivation was lying in becoming rich or famous, I don't know if me partying will get me there. And so if I say to myself, hey, I want to be rich, I want to have more money, but I'm battling between just partying all the time because that's what my go-to is, you know, that's what my body is telling me to go to, I have to revamp and reprogram myself to do something else to get to that point. Yeah, because we all have the same, I think we all have the same amount of time in a day, the same amount of energy. It's just the way we use it. I don't say the same amount of energy, but we all have the same amount of time. Yeah, it's the way you use it. And the thing about, you know, if you're lazy, you'll think of ways outside of the box to do things. That was one of my issues working for like corporate America. They would do things, and I'm just like, this could be done so much better.
So you're the one that would look at it and say, wait a minute,
this could be done so much
exerting unnecessary energy when we could do this another way and benefit everyone.
Yes, efficiently. I run off of efficiency. Like if something can be done better, done easier, less energy exertion, less people that have to be there and on hands to let to do it. And my only issue with being in corporate America is they don't care what you say, because do what they want you to do and that's it. So, and I don't operate in systems like that well either, because I like to be innovative and think of new ways to do things.
Better and newer.
Yes, and they don't have a lot of wiggle room for that. So, you know, being lazy, like we said, a lot of our rich people right now are millionaires, were people who were like, this sucks. Some of them were sitting in universities, like, school is taking a lot of my time and energy, I'm going to do something different, and they, you know, sat down with a dream and they made it work for themselves and became millionaires. And, you know, so it's like, and that was from being lazy. I don't want to be in school, but they found something they did want to exert their energy
something
on.
Sparked their interest.
Yes.
Sparked them.
And that's too. A lot of times we look at our kids like they're so lazy, they're unmotivated, it's this and the third. But what we're doing is we're putting all of these options in front of them that doesn't spark their interest. It doesn't motivate them. It doesn't align with them. We're trying to push things on them that isn't necessarily for them. So it's not that they're lazy. It could be more so that they're uninterested in the things that we're offering to them.
Correct. Which is, you know, like I said, it was an eye-opener to read it, because you got to get a different perspective of people and what we define lazy as. And I'm like, oh.
More open-minded towards it,
okay, because me, like, I hate lazy people. Like, low.
What's your definition of lazy then? You just see somebody sitting down and you're like,
doing nothing. Yep.
Chilling.
No, not when you working 8 hours, and not when somebody's paying you and you sitting there. No, or they on the phone, or they Amazon, and why are they working at a job and corporate America's paying? No.
See, and this is what I don't like. I don't like people who go work for corporate America and they run around like a chicken with their head cut off. That's for corporate America. Because I just be sitting there, sure, I'm clocking out at 4 o'clock. If it get done, it get done. If it don't, it don't. It's not going to do nothing to me.
You know.
I'm going to operate regardless, you know. So I don't like people who take, and I get it. Everyone has to work, but you guys know I'm anti-job. But I don't like people who just take their job so serious. And they're like, you know, because I'm laughing in the back, and I don't want you busting in the room. What you doing? I'm laughing. I'm chilling. I'm having fun. Being lazy. Being lazy. What's going on? What's wrong with you?
No.
Try it. Try it. You want a drink? You want a shot in the break room?
A
little drinky drink?
You know, and we have to understand also, there's a generation between us. See?
Yeah, the older, and that's the thing too, we don't understand. A lot of the older parents are, get a job, work. Well, your eyes are open now, but a lot of parents, her eyes are open now, but a lot of older parents are like, you need a job. You need to work. You're not working, you lazy. And it's like, Mom, come on, man.
I'm not lazy.
I'm selling popsicles at the high school. Like, I'm doing something, you know, and and it's crazy because a lot of people will, to not be lazy, get into some type of job or to make their parents or their significant other or whoever happy and feel like they're a functioning part of society. And what happens? They end up losing themselves. They end up not being motivated to do what they wanted to do. Now they only motivated to go to work and yell at everybody else for talking and not working on the clock. Now she's a semi-boss. She just now she the manager.
I'm like,
what y'all doing? We chilling. Dang, here she come. Dang, I would be mad. Here she come. Hear them heels walking them clap clap clap. Dang, here she come. Shoot.
That's fine.
Lock myself in the bathroom stall. Dang.
That's fine. You do you. Just don't come talking to me. That's all I care. Don't come. Don't mess up my vibe.
I'm in the room. 8:00, 8:05. Hey, Missy.
Hey, girl.
What's up? I got some donuts. You know I come with the food. I come with the snacks. Got some Krispy Kremes.
I'm like, girl, we better get out of here.
We gotta work.
We gotta work.
Yeah, nah.
Give me another donut. Chill out.
Yeah, some fun.
So the thing of it is laziness has anything has a negative and a positive.
Balance
of what this is, what we're dealing with. So, we want to gear towards streamlining in the middle. We don't want to be too far out that we're not accomplishing anything.
You're on the opposite
or
spectrum.
on opposite spectrum.
We got opposite spectrums here. I'm chilling. She on the clock working.
Yeah,
She done busted sweat in her.
I
I ain't never sweat on the job.
Stop it.
Stop it. Sweat on the job.
So, we wanna be right there in that middle ground.
Yes,
and,
for sure.
we wanna, fulfill dreams and overcome some of the laziness that's not getting us to where we want and where we want to go, and allowing us to do the things we want to do or we should be doing for ourselves.
100%. And like we said, now that we know that laziness can be from genetics. We talked about generational trauma and generational baggage, and what do we do with those bags when it's something we no longer want? We put it down. So if you see that laziness is something that you're dealing with and it's something you no longer want to deal with, decide today to put it down.
That's what it says. Get off the couch and fight your DNA. I put it right there. Get off the couch and fight your DNA.
Who's taking my stuff?
The science.
So yeah, get off the couch, fight your DNA.
Yep.
And let's get into how to not be lazy. So I know you had some.
Okay, I have some apply on something to apply on steps on how we cannot be lazy. Mm-hmm. Unless you a lazy millionaire, then you can. Then you don't have to do anything. You. This little girl.
All right, son.
Number one.
Don't play around. Don't play around.
We're gonna stay focused. Number one, uncover the cause. So, like we said, some people aren't lazy. They just are going through some things, okay?
Uncover the cause. Aha.
What is the reason? What's causing you to be lazy? That's the first question. The next one. No, you got to actually. They got to.
So you can give us the answer.
So
I will elaborate on that because I thought
these are questions that you need to ask yourself.
Oh, so let me talk to them about the question. Dang, I thought she was going to answer the question for you. So, like we were talking about before, some people aren't aligned with their core values and who they are. So your cause of why you're lazy could be because you're doing stuff that doesn't motivate you and doesn't align with who you are.
Ask yourself. Before we deal with anything in our life, ask ourselves questions. Why are we doing this?
What's the cause? Your finger coming She did not want me in this picture, y'all. She had the camera all the way over there.
Ask yourself, what's holding you back and causing you lack of motivation? So what's causing you to not be motivated in whatever it is that you need to do? These are important questions. So that's the first.
Could it be fear? Could it be doubt?
Number two, focus on fixing the problem. Okay, now you've answered the question. What you gonna do with it? Let's fix the problem. Okay, address the problem head on. One of the problems. Maybe you're just tired. You're not lazy. Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you like me. You just work to death. Maybe you work to death. That you're like, I'm just tired.
Girl, she would come home and work. She would come home and still be working. I'm like, they paying you, no, girl.
Salary is a setup.
She's working on the weekends.
salary set up. Set time to get rest. So what you need to do is, if you're tired, take some time. Take some time for yourself to get rest. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're just tired. Maybe you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. These might be some reasons. Fearful, hurt, or sad. Maybe you're just going through a funk. Maybe. So, depression, if you're depressed, you're not lazy, you're just in a dark spot. So
when I'm depressed, like, that's the epitome of what lazy would look like. I don't get out the bed. My food comes to the bed. I don't even know how it got there sometimes. You wake up with chips under the covers. So, yep.
So if you're in that,
definitely,
yeah.
It might be bigger than being lazy.
Yeah. So, but that would be something that they would think you're lazy, but they don't know that there's some things going on with you. You're going through some emotional
in a moment
stuff.
For people, like I was talking to parents, whoever. If you see somebody and they're just not functioning to the point where you think they should, you just know they can do better. Put a word in their ear. Like, a lot of times we just point fingers and you're lazy, you're not doing anything, you're trash. No, what's going on? You know you can do things. You know you're capable. You know you got this. You just have to do it. Speak positivity to those people, because we don't know what they're going through. And people are whatever we call them. So if you keep calling somebody lazy, and they lazy. Yeah. And that's going to sit with their brain. They're going to start acting
picking that up.
Right. So switch it. You're motivated. You're talented. You're ambitious. Switch the words we're saying to them. Because I know, like this one. Look at these lazy people in the break room. Switch the words. They not lazy.
Look at these motivated people.
Look at these slightly motivated people
that are wonderfully made.
Just chit chat it up. Ain't they just talkative? Just talkative. I didn't know we paid them to talk.
8 hours. Anyway, make a start. Most people are scared. Of course, we say that about challenges and difficulties. Anything. Make a start to want to change the laziness, that trait, that behavior.
Yep, just do it. That's one of our quotes we use on here. Thanks.
Number 4, exercise. Sometimes if you exercise and get out of the regimen and exercise, it starts picking up your dopamine. It definitely does. It does motivate you, because I know when I finally do decide to exercise.
That's what I'm saying. The last thing lazy people want to do is exercise.
But this is how to apply. So they need to get up and move. Just get up
and move. I want to do is exercise. I'm lazy.
Move a finger, something. But you're going to find out.
Go to the fridge.
Run up and run back down. That it does change you.
It does.
It does. It does.
Instant. It makes you happy. It does. Serotonin boosts everything. Yep.
Get organized. It can be hard to be motivated when you're visually and actually cluttered.
We know that one.
So sometimes, getting things out of the way and organized and cleared in your life, in your space, in your mind can help you flow.
I know, like, for me, like, I will say a trigger, maybe laziness might lead to depression. Because for me, like, so this is how crazy I am, y'all. And I know I said something about it before, but I will be like, oh my gosh, the house needs to be cleaned. And then I'll go sit down and feel bad about it. And the next thing you know, I'm in the bed for 2 days because the house needs to be cleaned. And I'm sad and depressed.
Because the house needs to be cleaned.
And I'm the one who cleans it. Don't know anybody else coming. But it's just, I don't want to clean it, and it's waiting on me. And I just rather not do it and sleep.
So that energy.
I just don't want to put it towards that. And it's just thinking about putting the energy towards it just puts me in a coma for 2 days. It's like that. So I don't know if y'all experienced that, but yeah. So maybe I should just start cleaning when I look at it instead of walking away and going to sleep.
Because you become overwhelmed.
I'm overwhelmed. Like, a dish is in a sink.
That is overwhelmed.
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed.
So that's what they say. Ask the question, why am I acting this way? Why am I lazy? Are you lazy just because you're just lazy? No, there's probably some reasons why. Being overwhelmed, being down, tired because you're working too hard. You're sick. There's reasons sometimes, and not just people are just point blank like I thought. Lazy.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like, people have these dreams and ambitions, and they are motivated, but they don't know the steps to take to bring it into fruition. So I will say sometimes we'll think people are motivated, are lazy, but they don't know how to do the thing they want to do. So they get stuck in this rut of not doing anything.
I'm going to give you an easy easy answer to that. Go to YouTube University, guys, and learn every and anything you need
for the free.
For the free.
For the free.
I've enjoyed 2020 because I was at school.
YouTube University
for free.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to talk about. So when you want to overcome being lazy, stay motivated, know your course, exercise, get out and get active. I don't know if you guys know about energies and chakras and stuff like that, but literally exercising puts your body in a place of physical activity. Mm-hmm. An item at rest stays at rest. An item in motion stays in motion. So when you start your day on a exercise, on a kick, it tells your body it's time to move. Time to move.
And then you...
Yes, okay. And you're moving. So if you're the type of person who wakes up and you're kind of slow moving, start getting some type of exercise in your life, start moving, and you'll see the change. Mm-hmm. It happens. Your brain will start working faster, things of that nature, just from you moving your body. Mm-hmm. You know, we used to be a lot more active than we are now.
Yep.
Way more active, way more outside, see people. You know, now we go home and we in the house. Yep. So definitely start to move around and get it together. And remember, a person is being lazy if he is able to carry out some activity that he ought to carry out, but is disinclined to do so because of the effort involved. So for that, it's basically, I need to do this, but I don't want to because it's a lot that comes with it. Once you do that, you're being lazy. Yeah. Once you start to question, you know, I don't want to do it because it's a lot, you're being lazy. Just get it out the way and get it done. And that's why I said the thing about the brain, you know, you got to do it quick. Yeah. You got to do it. So just do it. So I would say the thing to do if you don't want to be lazy is just do it. Just do it. If it's an activity, if it's anything, just do it. If you don't know how to do it, YouTube University, find some help, find somebody who can guide you and mentor you into doing it. Yeah. But definitely just do it. There's no excuse. No excuse because you're just going to keep sitting on the couch doing nothing for years and years and years. You know, every time you sit on the couch and watch an hour of television, that's an hour a day. That's 30 hours in a month.
Of doing nothing.
And I know y'all watching TV for more than 1 hour a day. So there you go, do your math. All right, and I think that'll wrap it up for laziness. I want to give a shout out to all my conquerors. I know we're overcoming laziness. We're overcoming our inability to succeed and put forth our goals and stay motivated because that's what we talked about, staying motivated over those hills and those curves and valleys. You have to stay motivated. Keep your momentum up. Don't give up. Don't let fear stop you, and let's get it. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to Time for Tea, where we teach, empower, and apply. We'll see you next time. Bye.
That's a wrap of today's episode. And once again, this is the podcast, Time for Tea, where we are teaching, empowering, and applying and giving out weekly doses of some good stuff for your spirit. Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. Bye.